This is one of California's most heartbreaking issues. How did you bring both accountability and compassion, helping people get the treatment, recovery, and restoration they need while also protecting communities?
Well, honestly, I want to make it a very small government bylaw. I think it should be primarily in the private sector, because the private sector, and especially faith-based private sector, have a great track record of rehabilitating the drug addicts and the alcoholics. 80% of the people on the streets are mentally ill or they're addicts. And I feel that we need to bring treatment to them and give them an option of being treated. The 20% are poor people that really do need help from the government. And I do feel that we need to have some kind of a program where these are people who are not criminals, they're not committing crime, they're not selling drugs, they're not on drugs, they're just poor. That we need to provide some kind of housing until they get back on their feet. A lot of them are unemployed. And so we need to do something as a safety net for the 20%. But the 80%, I'm going to give them an option. Just like in the prison system, they can either go through a nonprofit organization like the Dream Center and go through their program. And again, their program is excellent because they get them off of drugs, but they also train them how to work and give them job skills. Because again, if they can be productive out there, I think, and knowing that they are making a commitment of sobriety, I think they can be a very functional citizens. I was a drug addict, so I know that Jesus changed my life, and I've been a pastor now for 46 years, and I'm a businessman. I'm running for governor. So if that could happen to me, I'm telling you, we could deal with the homeless. Now, there are situations where I've heard in certain states, red states, where they will have a zone for the homeless to live in, so they're not everywhere. We already passed a law that the homeless cannot hang around the freeways, for example, because when they're on drugs, fentanyl, alcohol, they can get killed very easily. And so but we don't enforce it. But I want to enforce it where they are in a certain area, a safety area, where some infrastructure is provided for, showers, bathrooms, porta potties, that we cover our expenses to have them there, but it's a temporary thing because the goal is to get them to these treatment centers or to the hospitals if they're mentally ill. And this is where the money should go. So the money should be not just being thrown out. We can't count for $2.5 billion in Los Angeles County. $5 billion a year we spend. And we spent $24 billion the last 5 years, and homelessness increased by 40%. So obviously this is madness. As someone said, whether it was Einstein, that we keep on doing the same things, expecting different results. That's insanity. And that's what we're in. We're in an insane situation. And so my program will be bringing compassion, giving them an opportunity to have housing when they need it, when they're not criminals. And they would want that because these are not people who are taking advantage of the system. But we do need to have a safety net, but we do need to have nonprofit organizations give them money so they could take in more people and not put the restriction on them like you can't preach the gospel and all that. Again, I feel like we have to honor the First Amendment, that the state should not interfere with the free exercise thereof, even in their program.
So that's a great segue to pillar number 9, government integrity and constitution.